I will go for that slide again, but I will tell you manually. First, his house is about Mars. Second house is about mm, Venus. Taurus is of Venus. Lordship is Venus. Then third Gemini is lordship is Mercury. Then fourth Cancer's lordship is Moon. Fifth sign Leo, lordship is Sun. Then sixth sign Virgo, lordship is Mercury again. Then seventh sign Libra's lordship is Venus again. Then eighth sign Scorpio's worship lordship is uh, Mars. Then ninth sign is of Jupiter. Uh, Sagittarius lordship is of Jupiter. Sagittarius are very educated people, and in the same way, for self study we need good Jupiter. Then tenth and 11th sign is of Saturn. Lordship of 10th and 11 is Saturn. Then 12th sign is Pisces, which is deep thinker, which also lordship of Jupiter. So Leo is sun is like king, moon is like queen, Mars is like general. Uh, and then Mercury and Jupiter are like counselors, and Venus is like uh, can take any side, neutral, and Saturn is like hardworking people. And that's why opposite to Sun Moon there is a sign of Saturn's, because Saturn is mutineer who took both signs by fights. He was not offered those sign automatically. He took 10th and 11th sign exactly opposite to 4 and opposite to 5. Saturn took both signs with forceful fighting. Then Mars have +3. +3 is always slow, means it is anshik drushti, means small vision, and +7 is always full vision for all planets. And for Mars, +4 and +8 are extra vision. For Saturn, +3 and plus 10 are extra vision. For Jupiter, Rahu and Ketu have +5 and +7 and +9. 5, 7, 9 are extra vision. Means exactly opposite on 5 and on 9. Means if here is a planet, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 9. This is how Jupiter, Ketu and Rahu have 3 visions. Mars have also have 2 visions, 4 and 8 and 7, and Saturn have 10 +3 and +7. So there are types of astrology. Classic astrology comprises of Bhrigu Jyotish and Bruhat Parashar. Bhrigu Jyotish was first astrologer. He worshipped Shiva for 1,000 years. He made him Bhrigu, made him pleased, and when Shiva come, he asked for gravitational effect of a planetary system on human body, and then Shiva told him science. That science is nothing but astrology. Then Parashar was present in 5,000 years ago. He was doing some black magic remedy by which he was about to become god. But what happened when he was crossing the sea? He was in the last stage of that process of black magic or worshipness. Then he was crossing the sea, and there was a girl, Matsyagandha. Means Matsya means fish, and Gandha means smell. Her smell was like fish, because her business was of doing fish, and her father was busy, so Lord Parashara took Matsyagandha with him. So he was crossing the sea, but what happened? He had controlled his sex for whole life. But at the time of that Matsyagandha's smell, he was sitting with her alone in the sea, and he looked into ocean. And in ocean, he saw that two fish are doing sex or romance. So Parashara got erected. So what happened? Parashara asked Matsyagandha, I want sex at any cost. So she said that I am smelling bad. So he destroyed his all worshipness, virtue of all worshipness of thousands years, because at that time life was big. So for 2000, 3000 years he was doing worshipness, he has virtue. He destroyed all that. He gave good smell to her. Then she said that I cannot do sex in open. So he called the clouds and made home. Then etc. This is how he destroyed his virtue and gave one son to uh, Matsyagandha or fish smeller girl. And that one son is nothing but the Vyas. Vyas wrote book of Mahabharata. Vyas is incarnation of Mercury and Parashar is incarnation of Jupiter. This is secret story, incarnation story you may not find with someone else, but I had read too many literatures, Hindu literatures. That's why I know some facts of incarnation. Then Parashar is also important. So classic astrology is made of Bhrugu Jyotish and Bruhat Parashar, means Parashar. Then in the middle era, means in the time of Kali Yuga, in the middle era, there was one science developed, which is Gemini astrology. Gemini astrology is comprises of different shlokas, and you need to learn that set of shlokas, like who is the Lord, who's second Lord, who's third Lord. In this way, Gemini is of doing mugging. Gemini astrology is about mugging. Then there is small period astrologies like Lal Kitab and KP system. In KP system, if a particular house there is no planet, they merge that house in the preceding or ascending house. Means they merge in that house. That's why that house will also act as second house because there is no planet in it. So Lal Kitab was in 19th century. There was one in Punjab. There was one um, Baba. He had some visions and he wrote one book like Muhammad, and it have very much uh, timely effect. Means at the time of uh, at the time of 19th century, it was working very good, but I don't think in next coming century Lal Kitab will work. But remedies in it are classic remedies. Means which stone for which planet, what to donate for negative effects of planet. These things you will find perfectly into Lal Kitab, because remedies of Lal Kitab are perfect. If you do some black magic remedies in mentioned in Lal Kitab, then it can backfire because you have to study it in deep. Our course is about classical present, mathematical, Rushi Bhrugu and Rushi Parashar, and your own talent will make our astrology course. You also included before you learn astrology. Then there are we calculate sign with some particular good method. So there are two methods, sidereal and topical, are the two different definitions of years, means sign calculation process. And in that Sidereal is related to Indian or Vedic, which is constant, means it can change its some angle, means this three planet may look like this, in some time they will look like this, but they are constant. This nakshatra or this sign is constant. But on the other hand, Western or tropical uses, every year their sign changes. That's why it is not constant and it is variable. So it gives some bad predictions also. And if you do bad prediction, your value as an astrologer decreases. Your tongue or truth power should be so big as an astrologer that your no statement goes fall. You should not talk, you should keep quiet. You should talk only one good line, but that should be perfect as a good astrologer. Then in sidereal there are two charts. One is North Indian type chart like this. This is North Indian style chart. One house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And South Indian chart is like this. Here it is blank space, and here are 12. It starts from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And sometimes its sign kundli can ascendant can be here. So sign kundli will start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And here your birth details might be written. So this is South Indian kundli, because in India, India was divided due to some kingdom reasons, economical reasons. In Middle East time, in that time there was two processes: North Indian charts, South Indian charts. And there can be misconception: Mars behave like this, Jupiter behaves like this, but you have to avoid that, and you should be confirm, you should be firm on your decision. You should talk confident, because in astrology your confidence counts too much, because there are reasons of human psychology, like there are 30% people are like Mars or Lord Shiva, which don't have their own mind, so they follow someone else's mind. So as an astrologer you should give them good direction. So these are the types of astrology. We learned a lot of 12 signs. Then you can go back, and you can pause the video, and you can read nakshatras, because I have forgotten exact names of nakshatras. uh, and you can, I basically told you who is the lord of which planet, and you should see which planet is exalted in and debilitated in which house. Like sun is debilitated in 7th house, and first house it is good. Then Mars is bad at Cancer, fourth sign, and good at 10 signs, because 10 sign is karma of Saturn. Saturn is also karmic, Mars is also karmic. So in 10th, Mars behaves good. Then Moon is good at Taurus, and bad at Scorpio. Rahu is good at third house, Gemini, and bad at Sagittarius. On the other hand, Ketu is studious person, and Sagittarius is the university or education platform. So Ketu is good at ninth house and bad at third house. In the same way, you have to calculate percentage also, because someone is good at 100% here, and here it is 0%, then in the middle it must be 50%. Then Mercury is good at 6th house Virgo and bad at 12th house. 12th house, it makes person visionary. If he have strong background of truth, he can become good visionary person. But if in your Mercury is in 12th house and you are not having good background of 12th, then you can become schizophrenic, or you can become bad visionary. Then Venus is good at 12th sign. I have seen people in 12th sign which have got too much sex, because Venus in first house or 12th house, I have seen people who get sex whenever they want. Then uh, Venus is good at 12th and bad debilitated at 6th sign. Then Saturn is bad at first house, because first is house is about brain, and if ignorance comes and stuck into brain, then that person must become very hardworking, and hard work is not key to success. Hardworking person never gets success. So you should do hard work and smart work. You should be some managemental. So in first house, Saturn is bad, and it is said that he is in seventh house. Saturn is good, but Saturn is a wound of past life. Means wherever Saturn sits, that house is always you cannot talk about it, because if Saturn is in his fifth house, then your child must be behaving with some behavior which is not acceptable to you. You cannot talk about childs in public. If Saturn is in your husband's house, then your husband will behave like with you something like that. You cannot talk about it. So Saturn is wound of past life. So you cannot talk about wherever Saturn sits.